At the time, I was already the brand psychologist. I actually got pregnant right before COVID, like the year before COVID happened. But I was in this transition period when I got pregnant. Like it was like, I think I was still trying to develop who I was as a woman. Like, who am I? Because I was in my I would say mid late 20s.
Okay.
So at that time, like, you still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, who am I? So to get pregnant at that time, it was like, ooh, it was kind of scary. The biggest struggle was feeling like you're not called anymore when you do something that you know your leaders are gonna kind of be disappointed, and you just feel like everybody's gonna be disappointed. How I know I'm at the right place at the right time and doing what I'm supposed to do in my business, and like you said, connecting that to motherhood, is the feeling. So how I feel. Some days I feel overwhelmed and just like, and that's usually the days where I'm not doing what I love.
What we do.
Girl, you's a boss mom. Baby girl, you so perfect. Girl, you's a boss mom. Making everything worth it. Girl, you's a boss mom. Stand on all of your business, and when it come to investments, and baby girl, you the realest. Girl, you's a boss mom. Baby girl, you so perfect. Girl, you's a boss mom. Making everything worth it. Girl, you's a boss mom. Stand on all of your business, and when it come to investments, and baby girl, you the realest.
Hey, boss moms, it's your girl, Tammy Capri, the mompreneur mentor. Welcome to another episode of the Boss Mom Huddle. And y'all know I got another boss mom on this couch with me today, y'all. I got the brand psychologist with me, Miss Diamond. She joined me on this couch today. Hey, Miss Diamond.
Hey, I'm so excited.
I'm excited too.
Yes.
Came in all your pink and looking all good and stuff like that. How is everything?
It's good. It's really, really good. I'm excited. I'm really excited to get into these questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I've been watching your show, and I think season 2 is about to be top notch.
Thank you. Thank you. It's top notch because I got you.
Yes,
I got
thank you.
So let's get right into it. Give our audience a little bit about you.
Yeah, so like you said, I'm the brand psychologist, and it's crazy how I got the name, but it gives you a clear picture of who I am. So I went to Georgia State University.
Shout out to Georgia State.
Yes. Real GSU. I got my degree in communications and public relations. So I had already started working in that realm, working in entertainment.
Okay.
But I always had this gift of like talking to people and mental health. So I got also a side job working at a mental health facility. And one of my really close friends, I would always go to his office. We would talk, and he said, you know what, Diamond, like, not only are you good at public relations and branding, like you're really good at talking to people. And he's like, you need to be the brand psychologist. So he gave me the name, and the actual concept, I feel like it was God. Like the concept came together. I was like, I got to figure out what that name means.
Yeah.
So I did my first session. I had a friend. She was already doing branding for clients. And she's like, you got a gift. I want you to come in and do a session. So I literally was like, what do I do? So I got me some coffee mugs made. I got me some like your stationery and everything. And I sat down with my first client. We literally had therapy for her brand. And I sat down and we started from like childhood up into adulthood.
Wait, I love that. Go back. Because it makes the brand psychologist. First of all, branding is psychology behind it anyway. Because I've read that there's certain colors you got to use to have people buy in. Certain colors that restaurants use make people hungry. So there's a psychology behind that anyway.
Exactly.
But to build your personal brand, to really start from childhood and up.
Yes.
Wow. So tell me, how was that process?
Yeah. So
they just lay on your couch and you like a
yes, I
psychologist.
actually at the time, shout out to Nicole Garner. I don't know if y'all have heard of her. Right now she's in the finance world, but she started off as a PR consultant, and she opened up a space for females. It was called Open for Business, and it was this space for women to come to and do their co-working space. To be honest with you, I will give her a shout out. I feel like that was like the first like co-working space that started everything. This is before COVID, before co-working was even cool.
She's here in Atlanta?
She was, that space was open on Auburn Avenue in Atlanta. It's no longer open for business right now. I'm not sure what it is now. But I say that to say that was my first office. So they came in, they sat down. We already had the aesthetics and the vibe because it was set there for what it was created to be. And I would have my candles. And I remember my first session, I didn't know how it was going to work. But we just started talking and it grew from there. And I started coming up with my own activity. So one of my favorite ones was accepting who you are. So I would give them an award, and they would stand up and they would give a speech accepting something something on behalf of something they wanted to manifest. So if you wanted to open up a boutique, I would have them stand up, hold an award, and literally speak it into existence. And I taught them how to be specific. I taught them to really speak it out, because if you don't have vision over something, it's hard to accomplish it. So all the activities just started coming to me, and like when I realized one activity was successful, I would do it during my next session. So it all just came together, and I really feel like it was a gift from God. And literally people leave my sessions like, I didn't know what I wanted to do, or I knew what I was doing, but I felt stuck. And I've birthed so many businesses. I've taken people from feeling like I can't do this to like, I can name so many people in Atlanta who are still flourishing just from like sitting down and having these brand therapy sessions.
Because you're changing the mindset. You are empowering, like, and that's a big part of it. Like when you're starting a business,
right.
And just like you said, you really didn't know what angle you wanted to go, and you really had to find yourself through, working with your clients and creating your activities, and how is all of this going to look. Starting the business overall it's pressure. It is pressure, especially when you start to meet people, you start to network, and you start to grow. You lose your initial, why am I starting this? What am I doing this for? Yeah, you're supposed to venture and expand and scale and grow, but then you lose who you truly are, and that mindset of what do I want my career to look like, So I think doing that early on is genius. Doing that early on is genius, and it is much needed. I've never heard anything like this. You got to tell me more. You got to tell me more.
Look.
So for your clients, and we'll get into the mommy part later, but you got me intrigued with what you do for Brand Psychology. So your clients, after you work with them, is it a continuous thing, or is it a one and done thing, or is it like how therapy is? I can book you when I need you, when I'm not feeling myself, I'm feeling that imposter syndrome coming on. How does that all go?
Yeah, so I think it's just like therapy. I think that some people can go to one therapy session and feel like this was great, but I feel like I've kind of like explored and processed what I needed. I probably don't need any more sessions. But then for the majority, it's like, no, I need more of this. So like once we start and we really dig into like what are the things that you need to work on, I like to say it's stages. So first we do the therapy, but then it goes into action planning. So once we've gotten over like all of the mental roadblocks and we've cried and we got everything out, we, at the end of that, we always come up with probably a new brand name. We come up with a new mission, because with my clients, what we realize is always bigger and deeper than what you thought. I help people dig deep. Even with this podcast, if we do a little mini session at the end, you will realize the Boss Mom Huddle is probably way bigger than just a podcast. Like it's way big. We gonna get into your childhood. How did God drop that thought into your mind? And after we do that, we go into the action plan and like, let's develop this now. So let's do your website. Like you said, let's get the colors together. Let's get out what your marketing is going to look like. So it stages, and it does, like I said, it continues on.
Nice. How does that play, well, not play, but how does that tie into like your personal? Because I'm sure at some point, or have you been in therapy before, or how does that play into your personal life? Because some things that we do is, like you said, it's tied to from childhood up. Right. How does it tie into your personal?
Yeah, so I think like you, or like I was saying, that this is a gift that I feel like I've had since childhood. So I have friends that see me after having seen me in years, like, Dami, you were the one who used to come up to me and say, why you do that? Like, you need a girl, be confident, dress like this. And I was like, wow, I was really like that, even as a young child. Right. And then, like I said, working in the mental health field, I did always have a gift of like wanting to help people just grow and get over those mental roadblocks. And yes, I've also been in therapy before as well. So just the whole realm of our mind and how our mind can work for us, but it also can work against us. And I've always understood that, even as a child. So I feel like that's what makes me great at doing this, because like I have a keen sense of looking and talking to you, even if it's for 5 minutes, to see what may be going on in your mind that's either hurting you or helping you.
That's a gift. That is a true gift. That is a real gift. What do as far as being a mom and being able to grow your business and do what you do, what part of all of this, or if there is any part, what part of all of this you take and say, this is exactly what I should be doing?
How I know I'm at the right place at the right time and doing what I'm supposed to do in my business, and like you said, connecting that to motherhood, is the feeling, so how I feel. Some days I feel overwhelmed and just like, and that's usually the days where I'm not doing what I love.
Okay.
But when I go to these speaking engagements, when I'm talking to women, when I'm helping people build their brands, I leave feeling energized. Like, yeah, you might feel a little tired because you worked, but at the end of the day, my spirit feels lifted.
Okay.
And that's when I know, like, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. But when I'm sitting in front of a computer and I'm doing something that I know I do not align with, it's a different type of tired. It's not a physical tired. It's a spiritual exhaustion that you feel when you're not in alignment with what you know you're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
So when I'm talking to people and I'm working as a brand psychologist and I'm having these speaking engagements, like, I just be leaving, like, I just be feeling like I'm walking on air. Like,
yeah, it's easy. It flows natural for you to do that. And I get that feeling about, and I was just posted, I think it was this morning or yesterday morning, that I was just so grateful that God put me into this space and to be able to really get excited to come. I get excited to come doing podcasts, and podcasts was something that really just happened. But I get excited to do it, and that's how in my gut I feel like, yo, I'm supposed to put a lot of energy into this, and it's bigger than me. It's about my daughter. It's about my sons. It's about my family. It's about like all of these young people, showing them, you know, what mommy does, how mommy, and being happy and doing it and not tired, dragging, don't have no time for them and so forth. So the reason why I like to ask moms that is because we get so tunnel vision and focused on what we're doing that we don't realize how it may affect our kids. We don't realize the business that we're in, or it's time consuming to do a business, obviously, that it may affect our kids. So how do you balance the time with your building your brands? Because you have more than one. You have books that are a book that's coming out. You have the planner that's been out, and then I'm sure you have a lot of other things that you are planning to do.
Right.
How do you balance all of that time between being a mom and working on your business?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's the key. It's a balancing act, and I'm gonna be honest. Literally, I have it's spread half and half. Like certain weeks, I can go weeks where I'm gonna be honest, I cannot go to the gym because this is where I'm focusing on my daughter going to cheerleading, going to dance, or maybe if she has something extra going on at school, like I'm laser focused in on her. But then after we get her straight and she settled, it'll be 3 weeks where like she coming with me to the gym. You're gonna sit down, you're gonna do your homework at the front desk with the people that help out, or you're gonna come with me to my events. So it is times where people won't see me for a while and they checking in. I'm like, hey, this is my daughter. Her name is Legacy. This is Legacy's time. But then it might be times where, like I said, it's all about me. She rolling right with me to go do what I have to do. So I feel like sometimes we try to be everything at once. Like we got to be so into our children and focused on that. And we got to be so into ourselves and do all of these things at once. And I think for me personally, with my personality, it's overwhelming. So for the moms out there that know that's not your personality, to be able to do everything all at once, I say break it up. Like it's summertime. So you might say, hey, June's going to be all about my baby, my child. We're going to go do this. We're going to do that. But July's going to be all about me. This is what they say. We outside.
We outside.
So, yeah. And I think that's okay. Like, don't feel like you have to be everything at once.
Yeah. Do you feel like some moms don't know how to accept the help?
For sure.
Okay.
I think a lot of moms actually don't know how to accept the help because they feel like, and that was me at first. Like,
Okay.
I honestly didn't really have a lot of help in the beginning anyway, but I think even saying that, my family would be like, girl, please. But I think that we sometimes think we don't have the help, but it's because we don't ask. And we kind of just, we wait for people to just be at our doorstep. So I've learned to ask. I've learned to set up schedules. I learned to, again, like, let people know, like, hey, I have this going on. So just being more open to asking is really helpful.
So take us back to the beginning. You said you didn't have a lot of help in the beginning. Take us back to the beginning of Diamond.
Yeah.
How was it like when you first became, or how many children do you have?
I have one child.
Okay. So when you first became Legacy's mom, or when you first discovered that you was pregnant with Legacy, were you at that time an entrepreneur or trying to pursue your company?
Yeah, so at the time I was already the brand psychologist. I actually got pregnant right before COVID, like the year before COVID happened. But I was in this transition period when I got pregnant. Like it was like, I think I was still trying to develop who I was as a woman. Like, who am I? Because I was in my I would say late 20s, like 26, 27.
Okay.
So at that time, like, you still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, who am I? So to get pregnant at that time, it was like, ooh, it was kind of scary. And I'm in this shift, and I'm also, I was in ministry. So,
Okay.
yeah, so that was even a lot. I'm not married. I'm in ministry. I'm trying to figure all of this stuff out. It was a lot. It was really heavy. So I had to figure it out. And when she came, it was like everything kind of came together.
So are you still in ministry today?
Yeah, so in the sense of like, I feel like my work is my ministry.
Okay.
Yeah, so every day, even as a brand psychologist, I feel like I am a minister because again, like I'm speaking to people, I'm helping heal them. So yes.
What is the main struggle? Because I know even in ministry, and our church folk can be so judgmental, can be very judgmental. What are some of the struggles that you faced as being an unmarried mother in ministry? What are some of the struggles that you face? Because I know there is some people that's facing probably some struggles. So what is the biggest struggles that you face?
Yeah, I would say the biggest struggle was feeling like you're not called anymore when you do something that you know your leaders are gonna kind of be disappointed, and you just feel like everybody's gonna be disappointed. But I will say it was nothing but God that made me feel so peaceful throughout that all. Like, even though people, like you said, church members are different things, you can kind of like feel like, oh my God, everybody's gonna be so upset.
Yeah.
And thankfully I was in a church, in a part of a ministry that was so accepting of me.
Okay.
Thank God.
Nice.
So that made it easier. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I know some people don't have that support. But I will say God kind of like, so you have to depend on God during those times.
Absolutely.
Because people will make you feel so bad.
And godly people will deliver a demonic message.
Oh, for sure.
Like I learned that a long time ago. So you really do have to be really grounded in your faith, and just know that everything happens for a reason, and everything that you've been through, God already written that plan.
Oh, for sure.
God already written that plan. And that's something I like to remind myself of when I feel as though things wasn't going according to his plan, or how I think someone of faith should look, or because we still do things. I still go out, I still party, I'm like, well, this plan was already written, and this test was already there. It's up to me to really learn from the test and learn from whatever these mistakes is. And now you have a legacy, and legacy is going to be a great person. She's going to do great things because you are her mama, because you are, you persevere through some things, and it's that, not hereditary, but that trickle down effect. And there's something about when we have girls. I feel like you just have you just have a daughter, but I feel like when I had boys, it was like, okay, I'm a mom, I'm a boy mom. But when I had a daughter, it was like, wow, like now I am building my legacy. Right. You know what I mean? So that holds a lot. And I think it changes women. It changes women. It makes you move differently too.
I agree.
It makes you move a lot differently. So what is a major difference in because you had your business before legacy, and now that you have legacy, what is a major difference, or do you have any setbacks now that you have a child trying to build your business?
I wouldn't necessarily say I have any setbacks. I actually feel like I take what I do more seriously, only because I do have my daughter watching me. So for example, I had a speaking engagement yesterday, and she came with me. And so for her to see me pouring into people, to see me praying, and to be right there, I feel like at this point it's natural for her to see it, because she's been with me, of course, going to these events since she was a baby. Like, I was in the middle of the Capitol, and I was talking and praying, and she was right in my arms. So it's natural. But I think before I had her, I think sometimes, especially like I said, in our 20s, we can kind of be like in a daze. Like, we're doing something because, like, we know we're good at it. Yeah. And we might somewhat know that it's a gift from God. But when you have a child, you know that it's time to really figure out what your gift and your destiny is. It's just a feeling that you have to just figure that out, because you have somebody really watching you and looking up to you.
And I got to raise this person. I got to take care of this person. Like, you are, it's God is in control, but you literally have a life in your hands.
Exactly.
You literally have a life in your hands. No, that it's pressure.
Yes,
it is pressure.
it's a
Shout
lot
out
of
to the
pressure.
boss moms
Yes.
with all of the pressure. So what do you, are you're still single now, or are you in a relationship? You still
Yeah,
single?
I'm in a relationship. So actually, Legacy's father and I, we're still together.
Oh,
So, yeah.
okay. Nice. So, how is it with building your brand and trying to raise your family? Because that's a whole nother ballgame.
Yeah.
And when I say raise family, I'm not saying he a kid or nothing, but mothers have to raise their family.
Right.
How is it with managing that time? To have
Oh.
time with your child is one thing, but
Right. It's a lot. I would thankfully say that like Legacy's father, like he's an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So when I met him, actually he's always been an entrepreneur, but he was starting a trucking business like as soon as like we met or whatever. So I started helping him with that. So I will say we mesh really well when it comes to like time management and like understanding each other because we both have businesses.
yeah, he
and-
knows your space, you know his. So the
Right.
respect, yeah,
Exactly.
nice.
So I feel like that helps out, but that's not always the case. Like as a mom, you might be an entrepreneur, but you know your partner isn't, and I know that that's a lot. But I think it just comes with like communication. It comes with understanding each other. It comes with when you meet somebody, a part of like connecting with them and y'all saying y'all gonna be partners is them understanding your gift. And I will say that's something that we still working through, but I know that's one of the first things he noticed about me was my gift when he met me. And actually other people told him, like before he even approached me, they was like, oh no, they used to say I was a preacher. That's like, oh no, that's the preacher. Like you gotta approach her differently.
You know who you married to?
Right.
You know who you with?
Yeah. You trying to get that girl number? Like, no. So I think the big part of like being a mom and having a partner, whether it's the child's father or not, is them understanding your gift and understanding your purpose when it comes to your entrepreneurship journey. And I feel like it clicks better that way.
Yeah. Makes sense. So what is next for you? I know you got the book coming out. Tell us a little bit about the book.
Yeah, so it is Plan A, How to
Yeah.
Confirm Your Destiny and Stick to It. And with this book, it's literally going to take you through chapters of understanding, one, identifying what your destiny is.
Okay.
And I actually, to backtrack a little bit, I wrote this book in my 20s, in my early 20s.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just now mid-30s, or I'm 32, about to release it, but I just because I was still on my own journey of finding out what my destiny was, and I just never felt ready to drop it. So that's what this book is, helping you figure out what your purpose is, what your destiny is.
Is this a part of the activities that you take your clients through the Brand Psychologist?
Yes, very
Okay.
similar. So inside of the book, it actually does have places where you can journal. Like this section right here says, write your spiritual job description, i.e. what are your new tasks, duties required in this system, in this season. Complete this section after your prayer. So yes, like it's going to go through those therapeutic activities to kind of help you identify who you are and what your destiny is and help you stick to it.
Nice. Now, when you are in the space of any type of therapy, psychology, and this is for you on the coaching side, right? Who do you feel like, or what type of woman do you have to show up as in order to lead people?
Oh, yes. I think the main thing is being bold. And I would never forget people just always speaking it to me like, be bold, be confident. So whatever you do, whatever leadership role you're in, and to be honest with you, I think everybody's a leader.
Yeah.
Because we all have something within us that is set here to change somebody, even if it's one person.
True.
Right. So
True,
I think
true.
be bold in that. Continue to seek out what you're good at, what makes you different. Because we all out here, and especially in Atlanta, we're doing very similar things, but it's something that's going to set you apart. It's
Right.
something, even if it's the small things, how you do it differently. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people that have used this set, but it's something about how you're using this set that's going to make it different.
Right,
So
right.
I think that being bold in that and understanding that if you feel like, dang, well, I feel like it's nothing really different about me, or I feel like this person doing hair, or this person doing nails, or this person does
Just
podcast.
comparing yourself to everybody. in
Comparison. But you gotta know what makes you different.
Yeah.
Be bold in that, and then you can lead, because people gonna see that on you. They gonna see
But
something different about them.
Was there ever a time where you feel like you wasn't showing up in that light? Like when you just didn't feel like being bold, you just didn't feel like, being that woman, but you gotta push and show up for them. Is there any time that you felt that way, and how do you deal with that? Because being it's a lot of pressure having that type of calling because now you got other people's mindsets in your hand. You know, you are going to be very influential. So how do you push through not feeling 100% yourself and still showing up?
That's good. I deal with that every week. And I feel like a lot of us do because the enemy's greatest plan is for you to not know who you are.
Girl, yes.
Yeah,
Girl,
that's
yes.
his greatest plan.
Yes.
Every day we wake up, that's
It's-
his greatest plan is for us not to know who we are and what
That was
makes us
confirmation
different.
right there. That was confirmation for me. I hear you, God.
Yes.
That was a personal one, but go ahead.
like, I mean, the enemy gonna fight us in several ways,
Yeah.
but the first thing is if I just keep you over here not knowing who you are, you're not gonna tap into the money you're supposed to have. You're not gonna tap into the family you're supposed to have.
I'm gonna
You're
distract
not
you
gonna
from
tap in.
everything.
Yeah, that's gonna mess up that's the foundation
Yeah.
to everything that you are and what you can achieve. So if he can mess that up, you're not even nothing else can be built from that. So I deal with that every week. I'm gonna be honest with you, probably every day, but I know I'm learning how to fight the enemy back. I'm learning how to have those pep talks with myself. Like, I know who I am. When I walk into a room and I start feeling insecure, I continue to just pray and I talk to God and he just showed me what make me different compared to everybody in the room. Like, yes, everybody has their own greatness, but when I started feeling insecure, I just tell God to just keep talking to me because he didn't create us to be on this earth and feel insecure about anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yes.
I love that. Girl, listen. I probably need to sit on your couch.
Yes, come on.
I need to.
We can do it
There's
right
a couple
here in
of
front of this
brands.
camera.
There's a couple of brands, and I say that, and this is for the moms who have multiple brands, right? I consider myself to be a serial CEO, and a lot of the brands that we have are different lanes, and it's easy to get caught up in Tammy Capri, the Mompreneur Mentor, or the Boss Mom Huddle, but you don't want to lose sight of your other or have one overshadowing the other. So just to even dissect or digest who you have to show up in all of those other spaces and not forget and not let it fall to the wayside. Or like you said, the enemy will play tricks on your mind and make you forget when you know you have something to do on this side, but you know you're showing up as Tammy Capri and that's not what that space called for. So I may need to come on the Brand Psychology couch.
I would, because I'm excited. I would love to.
Yes, ma'am. So the book is coming out. You said, it's coming out or it is out already?
Yeah, so it's coming out really soon. We're still working out like a few details regarding the book, but it will be out very, very soon.
Okay. And then what's next after the book? What can we look forward to from the Brand Psychologist?
Yeah, so my events. So I usually do like 2 big events per year. So just stay tuned on my Instagram because I usually do like a big brunch and that is going to be the next thing. And I'm thinking the name, this is the official drop here. I haven't told anybody.
Oh, we get an official drop, Huddle.
Yes, official drop. I think it's going to be called All Bets on Me. And it goes into everything that we just talked about. It's like betting on you, knowing who you are. When you walk into a room, be bold, be confident. And that's going to be the basis of it. I want everybody to walk into that brunch feeling confident. We're going to network. We're going to talk. We're going to build. We might even have like a podcast set up. So I might need you on my couch to speak to the people.
You know, I am there.
Yes.
Listen, let me know I am there.
Yes.
No, I love that. And one thing I love about Atlanta, and I know they do this all around, but I didn't see it as much when I was in Philly. But there is so many networking events down here that it's impossible to really know. I mean, not know people. It's impossible unless you're just not getting out. You're not including yourself. Like it's so many networking events, and I love that because when you're in a room with people that are doing things, like God will really align you with the people you're supposed to be aligned with. You know what I mean? So I love that. I cannot wait, and I will be tuned in. What's your IG for our audience? What's your Instagram?
So it's Diamond Suave. So it's Diamond, Diamond, and then it's Suava. And that's me on Instagram. Facebook is just Diamond S Hill, but my Instagram will have everything.
Nice. Make sure y'all follow Miss Diamond. Now, I do have a question, and I'm in tune with, who I want to be. I'm in tune with, and I'm listening and I'm leaning in. And I got this from another influencer to lean into God for 2024. Yeah. And I have been leaning into God for 2024, but there's other directions that I feel like I'm being pulled in, right? So when you feel like you're being pulled in another direction And we know we're supposed to be obedient. We know we're supposed to listen to God. But when you feel like you're being pulled in another direction, it's going to cause you to, put that brand to the side that you've been working on so much. You did the psychology. You did your little couch therapy session for this client, or she comes to you and say, hey, I feel like I'm being pulled in this direction. I've worked so hard here, put all my time and energy here, but I feel like I need to do this. What is your advice to someone like that?
That's good. I think you can go two directions with that. So I would really have to talk to that person and explore which direction. But I think one direction, I feel like put them all together. I feel like every time I speak to a lot of entrepreneurs, they feel like they have to do just like one thing and like focus on that and just feel like, but I think God will give us ideas to put things all together. So if you told me like, hey, I'm doing this podcast, but I also feel like I want to open up a store, like a clothing store or something like that, I'm like, you can put those both together. Like when you open up that store, you need to have somewhere in the back where you can go and record your podcast. But then in the front here, you have your clothes there. But I feel like God always can give you ideas to join things together. Now, if you truly feel like God is saying, hey, I just need you to step away and just don't touch it, that's something different. And like you said, I think you just have to be obedient. And I think that God is telling you to shift for a reason. And there's more territory there. There's more blessings over there. There's more things for you to get, and you can't get it if you tied to this other thing. Yeah. So I think just having, again, like I call it tapping in, because we think sometimes it's so deep. No, just tap in with God and just say, hey, it's like a chain. Like, do you want me to continue to add like chain, like another chain and chain, and or are you telling me to separate and go and lock up somewhere else? So I think just tapping in with God to see which way.
Because there are a lot of women, and I meet women. People will DM me, DM the Boss Mom Huddle, and even to get to this point, to get to the couch, we do like a screen, and I'm like, well, what is it that you do? And the one thing that I notice about a lot of women is that a lot of moms, they're all over the place. And just to provide some direction, I think what you do is very, essential for this community. Right. Because not knowing which direction, not knowing what it is you want to do, or not even giving the time to letting one idea develop before you do something else. And I just feel like there's an audience for this. And you are the first person I've met that's even combining the brand with psychology, and I just love it. I just truly, truly love it. How can somebody work with you?
Yeah, so I actually on my website, you can fill out a form for me to meet with you to do our consultation. So that's the brandpsychologist.com. Okay. And that link can also be found on my Instagram. Or I'm real chill. Just DM me. DM me. But, some people like to go through... they gotta see if you official.
Yeah, exactly. I'm that way. If you don't got a website, I'm like, I don't know.
That's what makes it real. But I promise y'all I'm real. And I hope y'all saw that. But you could DM me. But if not, I do have the website.
She do reply to the DMs, y'all.
Oh, I do.
We was in the DM.
All in my DM.
So what... where do you see the Brand Psychologist going, like in the future? Like, what do you see? Because I could see now that I'm aware of you. I know you've been out for a minute, but now that I'm exposed to you, I can see a lot of people probably jumping into the space with you. And you're the first person. I'm going to say it here. And you may not be the first. I don't know if you're the first ever, but the first person I know. So you always going to be the originator of this lane for me. But where do you see this going with you and just with that whole industry?
Yeah, I actually see it growing, and I'm actually working on this now, but it being a full-on life transformation agency. So yeah, like bigger than just like entrepreneurship, bigger than just like helping people brand, but like I literally want to work with people who feel like I just don't feel like my life is where it's supposed to be. And I want to transform people holistically. So I want to bring on a team of stylists, like wardrobe stylists. I want to bring on a team of like actual beauty stylists. I want to bring on a team of people that's going to help you with your finances. Nice. Like whatever it is when it comes to our life and how we can like manage it and really be in our superpower. That's what I really see my brand becoming.
So you are really just doing the one-stop shop for women, or are you gonna work with men
for the
too?
Life Transformation Agency, I think we're gonna dig into the men too.
You gonna dig into the men? Forget them. No, they don't listen. They got
That's
enough.
How they feel.
They got enough. No,
when I be having these little events, we all got on pink. They be like, what about us? So I think I got
they
something
got
for them, too.
everything,
You think
but
so?
it's okay. Y'all can't have her yet. Y'all
Okay.
cannot have her yet. The Brand Psychologist is for the women right now. But we got to birth them in. We got to
Yes.
birth them in. So I definitely can see there being a need for men to do something like that as well. No, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. And I'm excited to see where you go, because I will be following. I will be tapped in. Let me know whatever events you have coming up and how we can support.
Okay.
And y'all, at the Boss Mom Huddle, if y'all are watching this, whether it's YouTube, if you're listening to this on the streaming channel, make sure you tap in with her. She has a really dope brand. She also has a planner. I'm looking at her planner. That's why I was about to say planner. Tell us about your planner a little bit. I did look through it just a little bit, but tell us about your planner real quick before we wrap up.
Yeah, so really quickly, this planner is already out. It is on Amazon, actually. So all you have to do is type in favorite, fit, and funded, and it should come up. But it's a 90-day planner for women, and it takes you through those 3 sections. So it's going to take you through your finances. It's going to take you through your spirituality. It's going to take you through your fitness. So every day you wake up, you can put in your goals. It's going to be prompts in there that kind of like get your mind going to help you. It's going to be different. Every section has some type of different, like you said, activity to kind of like help you plan better. Because some of us, like, we wake up and it's like, what do I even put in this thing? Like, what dates? That's why some people don't use planners. So these activities kind of help and guide you.
Nice.
So yes,
nice.
It's already
nice.
on Amazon.
Do you have a private community or like a subscription community with a subscription or anything? Because I can see that with this. I can see like your little tribe. And do you have that?
No, I actually was thinking about starting that. So like every time I have an event, like I get more followers. I get more people. Like, this event really changed me, and I'm not going to say I tried hard enough, I guess, but I do need a community where I can keep us all in one place because we have the same goals.
Because I'll be right in there. I will be right in there. No, listen, I'm going to put this in. I'm going to push you and encourage you to do that, because that's something I would definitely love to join.
Okay,
so.
perfect.
Thank
so
you.
the next time y'all see me, we're going to have some progress here.
Oh,
okay?
yeah. She's going to be an honorary boss mom. We got a couple honorary boss moms. She's going to be an honorary boss mom. And like all the other honorary boss moms, I'm going to invite y'all to her DM. So make sure y'all go and pay her a visit on her side of the social media world. Tap in with her. Ask the questions. And if you need to lay on her couch so she can pick apart your brand and help you rebrand and rebuild, tap in with her. Tap in with her. She really has a good thing going over there. I really love what you're doing.
Thank
really
you.
love what you're doing. Well, that concludes another episode of the Boss Mom Huddle. Stay tuned for, a lot of good things that's coming up on the Boss Mom Huddle, a lot of good events that's coming up in the Boss Mom Huddle. And if y'all have not checked out our stand store or our merch store, make sure you do that. If you support the huddle, tell us how much you support the huddle in this episode in the comments below. If you're listening to it on the streaming apps, comment. Put a star rating. Let us know. If you don't like it, still let us know. I'll take the criticism. But other than that, I do appreciate all of the moms that, come onto the show, and all of the moms that we're able to touch. People share stories with us in the DMs and our email. And I'm just so grateful that we are at least touching some folks. The goal is to, get all the moms around the world and unite. But for now, one mom at a time. And I appreciate you all for the support thus far. And I am excited of where the huddle is going. And if you guys did not know, I do have a solo podcast coming out. It's called A Boss Mom Diary. So please stay tuned for that. It is launching summer of 2024. And I am truly, truly excited about that. But until next time, thank you. I love you all. And always huddle up. See y'all soon.